This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(6:15). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. The President says the main policy of the government is to eliminate poverty by improving the income of the villagers. He also stated that there will be no room for anyone to destroy the environment. In the past 1.5 years, 30 fatal accidents have occurred in the Uva province alone. 6 MOUs signed between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. Pakistani President says he will support Sri Lanka. And in news overseas, France and Poland increase lockdown measures as infections surge. Those are the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the local news. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that the main policy of the government is to eliminate poverty by improving the income of the villagers. Participating in the Gama Samaga Pilisandara program in Yobueltana in Valapani, he said the government has paid special attention to the agriculture and plantation sectors to achieve this goal. Participating in the program, he also stated that the rural areas are the key point in his manifesto to eliminate poverty. The main policy is to improve the income level in poor villages. 75% of our population live in rural areas. 35% out of them are directly engaged in the agricultural industry. It is important to uplift the 75% of our population from poverty and improve their income level. Certified price for fertilizer has been given. He pointed out that there will be no room for anyone to destroy the environment. 6 MOUs have been signed between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. The agreements covers the fields of youth development, agriculture, technical education, tertiary education and training of nurses. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, who is on an official tour in Bangladesh, has held bilateral talks with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at her office. A cordial discussion took place between the two prime ministers before the commencement of the official talks. Bangladesh Prime Minister said that 50 years will be completed for the state-level relationship between the two countries. She also said that Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa's visit will further help to strengthen the relationship between the two nations. It has been decided to increase direct flights between the two countries. They paid special attention on eradicating drug menace. Bangladesh Prime Minister has invited the Sri Lankan students to visit Bangladesh for higher education. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has also invited the Bangladesh Prime Minister to engage in an official tour in Sri Lanka. Army Commander General Shavendra Silva met the President of Pakistan, Arif Alvi. Army Commander participated as an invitee of the National Day celebrations of Pakistan. They discussed several important facts relevant to the two countries. The Pakistani President has appreciated the great contribution given by the Army Commander in eradication of terrorism. The Pakistani President also reiterated that he will give his fullest support to Sri Lanka at the Human Rights Council session. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
And we continue with more local news. The National Operations Centre for Preventing the Spread of COVID-19 says that 322 COVID-infected persons have been identified this morning. Most number of cases were reported from the Gampaha district. Another 6 COVID-related deaths were also reported this morning, and currently the COVID death stands at 544. The centre said the overall COVID-infected patients have increased to 89,500. Out of this number, over 86,000 persons have recovered. 133 acres of land acquired by the Forest Department in the Jayapuram area in the Punahari Division Secretariat Division in Kilinochchi has been returned to public use. Minister Douglas Devananda handed over the titles of the lands to the owners in an event chaired by the Punahari Division Secretary S. Krishnendran yesterday. The Water Supply and Drainage Board says that the water supply to Colombo 1, 3, 9, 14 and Kadule areas will be interrupted for 15 hours from 9 a.m. to 12 midnight tomorrow due to a repair in the pipe system. The water supply to Colombo 1, 7, 8 and 10 will be under low pressure during that period. Chairman of the Paddy Marketing Board, Dr. Jatad Manapiruma, says that 17,650 metric tons of paddy have already been purchased. He said 4,600 metric tons of paddy have already been purchased from the Ampara district. He said the government is expected to purchase 300,000 metric tons of paddy under the National Programme of Purchasing Paddy. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. The President says that the main policy of the government is to eliminate poverty by improving the income level of the villagers. He also stated that there will be no room for anyone to destroy the environment. In the past 1.5 years, 30 fatal accidents have occurred in the Uva province alone. 6 MOUs signed between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. Pakistani President says he will support Sri Lanka. And that was the local news.
Darling, our daughter has top O-level results. Do you know what this means?
Yes, just 3 years and she'll be going abroad for her degree.
For which we'll need a bank loan.
But is a normal loan the smartest option?
What else?
The smartest way is to start an HDFC Smart Goals account.
Let your child begin their degree with no delays. Start an HDFC Smart Goals account. Call 2356 888.
Honey, you're so smart.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vedha Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedha Mahatmya.
The main news story for this evening, police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana says that during the past 1.5 years, 30 fatal accidents have occurred in the Uva province alone. The increase of accidents has become a crisis. The main reason for the situation is reckless driving, high speed and competition between the buses. He said 15 persons died due to the bus accident that occurred this morning in Pasara. 23 persons have sustained injuries. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedha Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
In Washla this evening, Transport Minister Dilum Amanugama said that stern decisions should be taken to prevent accidents that are caused by buses, tippers, three-wheelers and motorcycles. He made these remarks considering the fatal accident that occurred this morning at Pasara. It has been reported that the bus travelled at a high speed. Further investigations are being conducted in this regard. And that came to you in Watch Light.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Headlines of the world news. France and Poland increase lockdown measures as infections surge. Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan tests positive for COVID-19. Finland ranked the happiest country in the world again. Those are the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the world news. France and Poland have reintroduced partial lockdown as both countries battle a sharp increase in COVID infections in the recent weeks. Some 21 million people in 16 areas of France, including the capital Paris, are affected as the country fears the third wave. In Poland, non-essential shops, hotels, cultural and sporting facilities are now closed for 3 weeks. The country has the highest new daily rates of COVID cases since November. Coronavirus cases are also rising exponentially in Germany, with Chancellor Angela Merkel warning that it is likely that the country will now need to apply an emergency brake and reimpose lockdown measures. Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has tested positive for COVID-19. The country's health minister said today, 2 days after the Premier got his vaccination. Mr. Khan is in self-isolation at home, said Minister Faisal Sultan in a tweet, without giving further details to whether other people who have been in contact with Khan are also under isolation. Mr. Khan, aged 68, has been holding regular and frequent meetings lately, including attending a security conference in the capital Islamabad that was attended by a large number of people. He addressed the conference without wearing a face mask and attended another gathering to inaugurate a housing project for poor people in a similar fashion yesterday. Finland has been named as the happiest place in the world for the 4th consecutive year running in an annual UN-sponsored report. The World Happiness Report saw Denmark in the second place, then Switzerland, Iceland and the Netherlands. New Zealand was again the only non-European nation in the top 10. The UK fell from the 13th to the 70th place. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. France and Poland increased lockdown measures as infections surge. Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan tests positive for COVID-19. Finland ranked happiest country in the world again. And that was the world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by Nivea along with CIB. Valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment and 20% discount for bank card holders during 16th to 30th March. Our product, our place. CIB.
In development news, renovation activities of the Panamura Veera Ragalavavar is underway. Nearly 15,000 families will benefit from these renovation activities. The Ministry of Irrigation says that the water supply could be provided to 1,500 acres of paddy land for the Yala and Maha season cultivation activities. Over 1.5 billion rupees will be spent for the project. And that came to you in the segment of development news.
Development News was brought to you by Nivea along with CIB. Valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment and 20% discount for bank card holders during 16th to 30th March. Our product, our place. CIB.
Moving on to sports news, the final match of the World Safety Cricket Series tournament will be held in Mumbai tomorrow. It will begin at 7 p.m. Sri Lanka and India have qualified for the finals. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
In business news, State Minister of Money and Capital Market and State Enterprises Reform Ajit Niwad Cabral and members of the CEO Forum of India held a discussion recently. It was disclosed that over 60 CEOs with the Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries have started a new program, Shine Sri Lanka, Path to Investment in Sri Lanka. They will also promote Sri Lanka in India as an attractive and safe destination for investment. They are also developing special brochures and presentation kits under the theme Shine Sri Lanka to promote Indian investments towards Sri Lanka. That was the business news. Economic news follows.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News, courtesy of...
Just move on real time, save more, LOLC real time. Paying the premium for transactions, simply save now real time. Day night, no trouble for your transactions, LOLC real time. Download LOLC Finance real time app for your LOLC savings account. Attractive interest rates, transactions anytime, anywhere with a zero cost and more benefits.
In economic news, the digital chapter of the Federation for Information Technology in Sri Lanka is gearing up to launch the first ever Sri Lanka Internet Day 2021 this April. The two-day virtual event, which will be held in association with the Ministry of Technology and State Ministry of Education Reforms, Open Universities and Distance Learning Promotions, will go live on the 6th and 7th of April this year. That was economic news and the weather report to conclude.
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And finally, the weather report, the Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places over most parts of the island during the evening or night. Heavy falls above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa, Western and Central provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. And that was the weather report.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And before we conclude this bulletin of news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The President says that the main policy of the government is to eliminate poverty by improving the income of the villagers. He also stated that there will be no room for anyone to destroy the environment. In the past 1.5 years, 30 fatal accidents have occurred in the Uva province alone. 6 MOUs signed between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. Pakistani President says he will support Sri Lanka. And in news overseas, France and Poland increase lockdown measures as infections surge. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news. And now it's back to your Saturday evening host and my good friend Asanka to keep you entertained.